Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss a prime example of Tory hypocrisy. As a group of protesters block the traffic in London, oh, the Conservatives hate that. They have pretended to be so upset about that they introduced a law to stop it. So I'm assuming government ministers are lining up to attack this latest protest. Oh, no, not a peep. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel. So the Conservatives are now fully committed to fighting the next election on culture war platforms. They have made public enemies of people in pursuit of this policy, Just Stop Oil being one such group. Now, I'll be clear and say that protests do, by their nature, have to be very visible, which means, of course, for some, they're going to be annoying. If you are not forced to take notice of the protest, it's really not much of a protest, is it? But there is a difference between noticeable and depriving you of your rights. The right to protest has to go side by side with the right for you to move along. Steve Bray, for example, very famously, incredibly noticeable when protesting in London. Oh, you can't miss him. But people can nonetheless go about their business, aware but unimpeded. After all, the point of a protest is to achieve one of two things. First, persuade the people who can meet your demands into doing so. Well, none of Just Stop Oil's antics have persuaded government ministers to do anything other than actually double down on what is upsetting them. Second, you can increase support for your aims amongst the public so that those members of the public put pressure on ministers to do something. So pissing off the public seems counterproductive, and indeed has been provably counterproductive because things are worse now, and the government have been using Just Stop Oil as justification for actually making the climate emergency worse. You know, people will say, oh, but Phil, our environment is more important than someone's journey. Oh, of course it is. Absolutely. If blocking traffic could save our environment, absolutely. But that is not what is occurring. These protests have not helped the environment at all. They've actually made things worse. If I throw kittens off a cliff to highlight the plight of kittens subject to animal cruelty, it could just be argued that I'm not actually helping, and the RSPCA will not thank me for my efforts. But anyway, I digress. Tory hypocrisy. So if Conservative ministers are going to say that blocking roads is a bad protest, as they have said in very general terms, I expect them to be consistent in that approach. When they hear the news, you say, Minister, the protest group are blocking the traffic in London. My goodness. Oh my goodness, this is disgraceful. I'm going to go straight to the papers and say how disgraceful it is. Yeah, it's an anti-ULEZ protest. What? It's an anti-ULEZ protest blocking traffic in London. Oh, is it? It's not Just Stop Oil then? No, it's an anti-ULEZ protest. Oh, disgraceful, isn't it? Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I need more context. You know, no. They've said they are against this behaviour. But no, on this occasion, they haven't said so. Why? Why cannot I see wall-to-wall coverage from the right-wing media or from ministers saying how disgraceful this is? Because the protest was an anti-ULEZ protest, a cause that the Tories pretend to be behind, even though they're actually the party of ULEZ, but never mind that. They don't let the public know that. But the Conservatives think that ULEZ is a great wedge issue for them. They are not only supporting the protest, but actually actively fueling them with lies about it. I still think it has the potential to go badly for them. Like, we're 2 weeks away from the expansion being rolled out. And when it does, surely people are going to realise, or most of them are going to realise, actually, it's not what they think it is. You know, in the report on this protest, for example, Sky heard from a couple who reckon complying will mean having to spend up to £40,000 on a car. Without even reading the details, you go, of course not. If their car's not ULEZ compliant right now, it costs very little to get one that is. They did mention they have a Volvo C30. And they only got a diesel because the government told them it was environmentally friendly at the time. Well, environmentally maybe, but it's very bad for public health. But then you think, well, okay, I mean, Volvo C30s haven't been made for like 10 years. So your car's quite old. It's not going to cost 40,000 to get a new one, is it? Like, as in a replacement, something that's newer than that. You know, it said in the thing, they had the 2010 model, so it's 13 years old. If they're happy with a 13-year-old car, why wouldn't they be happy with an 8-year-old one that would be compliant? Sell it, get another one with the grant available from the authorities. Wouldn't cost them very much. Might not cost them anything. You can still, I've seen on Auto Trader, you can still sell Volvo C30s. You can sell them for a few grand maybe. Not in London. Don't try and sell it in London. Get it sold. And then use the grant to get yourself an 8-year-old car. No problem. You get a better car because it's newer. And it hasn't cost you anything. 40 grand my ass. To replace a decade plus old car, behave yourselves. But this is the sort of nonsense which is driving, if you'll pardon the pun, anti-ULEZ sentiment. Come the mayoral or general election, I think a lot of people are going to have realised this. But that is by the by. That is the specific. The point is that a protest, doesn't matter what it's on, a protest group stopped traffic in London. Had it been Just Stop Oil or anyone protesting against, say, the Conservatives in some way, the news would have been full of the fire and fury of the Tories in both Parliament and the media. In fact, according to the report in Sky News, the protest was blocking the road outside a war memorial. Could you imagine if that were Just Stop Oil? Oh, there were so many elements there for the right wing to go loopy about it if they wanted to. Yet because the Tories wouldn't know consistency if it hit them in the face, they don't say a word. I look forward to a journalist pinning down a cabinet minister on this hypocrisy at some point in the future. I wonder if they will. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, please click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, the join button for memberships. And until next time, I'll see you later.